Welcome to NCERT Class 6 Social Science, and the name of our textbook is Our Past 1. We are going to start with Chapter 1, What, Where, How and When. Before going to the chapter, let's have a look at these short form BC and AD. So BC means before Christ and AD means Anno Domini. It's a Latin word and its meaning is in the year of the Lord. Here the Lord means Jesus Christ. The present year is 2021 AD, or we can also call CE. So AD, instead of AD we are calling it Common Era, and instead of BC we can call it BCE or Before Common Era. So I draw a timeline here. So timeline, we are going to arrange the years coming after the birth of Jesus Christ and those years which are coming before to the birth of Jesus Christ. So towards the left, the years are increasing in this way: 5000 BCE, 1000 BCE, 1500 BCE and 2000 BCE. After that also years are there. For the time being, I draw the timeline like this. And now we are going to check the years coming after the birth of Jesus Christ, that is CE or Anno Domini. 500 CE, 1000 CE, 1500 CE and 2000 CE. So at present we are standing here because we are in the year 2021, and we are going to check the important events in the history. And Vedic period, we can keep the Buddhism like this, and like that the important events happen during these centuries are kept in the order like this. So in your textbook class 6 we are going to cover the years coming before to the birth of Jesus Christ, and when you go to higher classes you will study the important events in history during the time of AD or after the birth of Jesus Christ. So now we are concentrating in India. What happened in India, which are the important events of India during this period. Before studying history, it's very important that we should have a clear knowledge about the location of India in the world map and the neighboring countries of India. We should also have a clear idea about the significant geographical features and important rivers of India. Let's have a look at the position of India in the world map. So I am putting the directions like this. From this you can understand that India is an eastern country, and if you are taking the example of a US, it's a western country. And again I am zooming India like this so that you can see the eastern and western part and also see the neighboring countries on these parts. Like in eastern part we have neighboring countries like China, Myanmar, Malaysia, etc. And on the western part we have the countries like Turkey, Syria, Iraq, Iran, etc. And if we are looking at the landscape of India, we know that on the northeastern part we have Himalaya, which is very difficult for the humans to cross. Like that on the southeast part and southwest part and also the southern part of India is surrounded by water bodies. Because of that, it is difficult for human being to cross, but it is not at all impossible. In ancient time, people usually come from the neighboring countries like Iran, Iraq, Syria, etc. So let's have a look at the important rivers of India. In ancient time, people used to live near the banks of river. So in India, mainly three rivers are there: Indus, Ganga and Narmada. let's have a look at what are tributaries. Tributaries are smaller rivers that flow into a larger river. Out of this, Indus and Ganga originate from Himalaya. Indus flows towards the western part and drains out in Arabian Sea. Ganga flows towards the eastern part and drains out in Bay of Bengal. So like that, Narmada is a west flowing river. Now let's have a look at the tributaries of Ganga. First one shown here is Yamuna. Then Chambal is also a tributary of Ganga. Other than that, Son is there, that is also a tributary of Ganga. For Indus, 5 main tributaries are there. Let's have a look. Chelam, Chenab, Beas, Ravi and Satluj. So let's read about Indus. About 4700 years ago, some of the earliest cities flourished on the bank of Indus River. So like that, later about 2500 years ago, cities developed on the bank of the Ganga and its tributaries and along the sea coast. So let's read the introductory part of your first chapter. Rashida sat reading newspaper. Suddenly her eyes fell on a small headline. 100 years ago. She wondered, could anyone know what happened so many years ago? So she is thinking that if it is about yesterday, we can easily get the information from radio, television, newspaper. So if we want to know about last year, okay, we can remember and say. But what about long before? Who will say us about long before? Now you are thinking you are getting information from Google. But who has written in the Google? How they got that information? That we are going to see in the coming slides. So, prehistory. What is prehistory? Prehistory is a time in the past before any written sources were available. The knowledge of this period had to be derived by studying archaeological sites. So, in archaeological sites, we are getting the archaeological important things like painting. So on the cave painting is shown here, fossils. So in prehistoric time, which are the animals lived, and artifacts means the things used by the ancient people and remains of building. So using these things, we have to reconstruct the history of period prehistory. So prehistory is the period where there were no written work. Because of that, we have to reconstruct the prehistoric period using these archaeological evidence. So we are going to study about India, what type of food or clothes or houses were built during that time, and where means where the food gatherers, hunters were lived in India, and how we are going to gather the information as there is no written work. So we have to rely on this archaeological evidence to reconstruct India during the prehistoric period. And when means in which time or which timeline this important historic event has happened. So we are going to explore this elaborately in the coming class. By this I am concluding today's session. Thank you.